debate, the submission of the promoter of this bill, he said that the ranches can only be made from the states where the owners of the cows come from. I know what he's trying to do. We can't do it that way. Well, these Fulanis are Nigerians. They don't even benefit anything from government. They don't enjoy schools. They don't enjoy hospitals. They don't enjoy any roads. All the housing programs done by government, and they don't enjoy them, nothing. So to just throw them away like that because they happen to come from they are assumed to have come from states that may not have even enough water, enough grazing area. And you say you can only be done in that state. I think it's not going to work. If we want to solve this problem, which is a national issue, we should approach it with open mind. Where you have enough land, where you have land that can serve as cattle ranch with water and enough grasses and other food for the animals, we should be magnanimous enough and realistic enough to encourage and in fact support the establishment of ranches in those areas. But to confine them to one area it will not solve the problem. So what I said, we must approach this matter in good faith. But to say, because I know if you say that you only want to do it in areas, maybe there are very few states in Nigeria that will be willing that Fulani can claim to have come. But they are Nigerians. So of course, if you go to Oyo State or even Ogun State or even Abia, you get Fulanis who speak Igbos, Fulani who speak Yorubas, who don't go anywhere outside those areas. What do you tell them? Because they are not indigenous to that place, they don't deserve any rights in that place? No, I disagree. So please, my colleagues and Nigerians, if we want to solve this problem, we should solve it head frontally. Secondly, some weeks ago we discussed this issue, a similar issue like this, and we even set up an ad hoc committee to come up with recommendations on the establishment of grazing areas. I think this being the case, we need to take a position either to harmonize these two issues so that we don't have to continue discussing. Let's do it once and for all. The ad hoc committee and this issue we are discussing, I believe, in my opinion, should be harmonized so that we solve this problem once and for all. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Did
you hear that? A northern senator is not happy that the bill to ban open grazing has in it that states must give land for ranching, and the Fulanis can stop roaming their cows for grass. So that's what the bill says. Okay? But there is a clause in it that says if the Fulanis that need ranch, any Fulani that is interested in having a ranch should go back to their states. Okay? Go back to your states. There are states where you have a Fulani population. Your state government should provide you that land. But the Fulani Arewa, that is against the North. Let us be magnanimous, he said. Let us be benevolent. Don't say because they are Fulani, they must go to their own state and get a land and have a ranch there. No, you have to give them land. If you have extra land, if you have grass, because primarily, it is never about cows. It is actually about further partitioning of southern Nigeria using this, the Fulanis that God knows where they want to bring them from, and then resettle them in this part of southern Nigeria. And in 10, 20 years' time, they will tell you they are indigenous people to those lands and they deserve to have their own local government areas. And we keep telling them, just same way you use politics and this one Nigeria to divide Nigeria into 36 states. You drew up your artificial borders around these states. Now, you are not satisfied because your intention is that for Nigeria never to break up, then the indigenous population must become adulterated. And what does that mean? It simply means that Fulanis are not just going to be roaming the forest for free. They will own it. And those forests will become their settlements. And those settlements will become their villages. And those villages will become their towns. And those towns will become their local government areas. And they will then begin to tell you, we want Biafra. They will say, oh, no, we don't want Biafra. All of us inside can say, in Biafra land. Because they have 10, 15, 20 years ago, some were weak criminals for selfish political interest. They have settled to give their land to the Fulanis. And they can never reverse that back. So what will happen? There will be civil war in Nigeria. So if these guys are not seeing it, there are all these plots, all this kurukere idea, they are just the future, an implosion of Nigeria. Even if you use all what you have now, number one, you won't succeed. But if you manage to succeed temporarily using the power, using the force of arm, at the end of the day, we will get rid of these people. And it's going to be war. And that's why we are asking those of you who have that chance to be in those places right now, save our future. Do not give any piece of our land to this Fulani terrorists. The agenda is the same. And if you are gullible enough to ignore this, well, you will never possibly ignore the consequences too. Now take a look. They are discussing. No, that's not Nigeria. Now that law is for Nigeria. Now cows are not Nigerians. No, cows are Nigerians. They are the Fulani pastorists are Nigerians. Listen, no.
Cows are not citizens of Nigeria.
So, Mr. President, cows are not citizens of Nigeria.
You didn't hear what I said. Senator Aleru, are you arguing with me?
No,
I said cows are not citizens. The section you are referring to is talking about citizens of Nigeria.
Yes.
And cows are not citizens of Nigeria.
Cows
can come in from Niger. They can come in from Chad, anywhere. But cows are not citizens. So, your point of order is noted, but rejected. You want to make contribution on the debate? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm against the idea of restricting movement of Nigerians from one state to another.
No, that would not happen.
Right now, citizens of Nigeria are allowed to move from one state to another to establish business without any hindrance whatsoever.
It affects everywhere in Nigeria.
Yes.
Nobody can restrict
pastoralists
movement.
are citizens of Nigeria. They can move to North Central, Northwest, Northeast, South, and establish their business without.
They can do so, but not with AK-47.
Yeah. No. I'm not talking about criminals.
You don't understand. You just noticed something. I'm saying that we are going to a portion that says that brings about restriction. So, and I want to refer that to Senator Sam. He has to delete that part. So let's not deviate from the debate. Let me conclude my contribution. Let me conclude, please. It's a private business. Government has no business going into ranching. Even the cattle route, which Senator Karimi mentioned, was
used to be the practice when we had 19 northern states as one state under northern Nigeria. But then that was the time when we had cattle route, beginning from maybe from Sokoto up to Lokoja. But now, the states have been balkanized into 19 states. Northern Nigeria has been balkanized into 19 states, and each state has control of its land. So you cannot really bring the issue of cattle route for now. It is not applicable at all because it touches on the territorial integrity of some states. Some states will not allow it. So ranching should be seen as a business, and government has no business going into it. And perhaps when we go to the public hearing, this will become very, very clear. So I rest my case, Mr. President.
Thank you. And the distribution for the whole country, or are you proposing a bill for some states? Please go back to your seat. You can only talk from your seat. You can't talk from here.
Guide it.
Proceed. Read Order 42.
Order 42 says, by the indulgence of the Senate and the leave of the President, a senator may make a personal explanation, although there may be no question before the Senate, but no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon explanation. The terms of the proposed...
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. What I'm saying... no, is to support that.
The Senator Lalong.
Yes.
He says that the senator will have. Let's look at that Order 42 again.
Sir.
So let's see.
You've agreed that I wanted to guide this Honorable Senate that this matter I have been part of this agitation for a very long time. But I will be surprised that up to now, we don't know some of the impediments towards realizing issues to curb farmers-headers clashes. Apart from the Constitution, like Senator Alero said, the ECOWAS protocol is part of the problem that we have. You can quote the Constitution, but what about the ECOWAS protocol? It allows you to move anywhere with your business. It allows you to move anywhere with your cows. So in getting towards realizing this, you must be very conscious of your laws in the nation, because you are not making a law for your state. You are making a law for the federation. The National Livestock Production Scheme was introduced under the Vice President. Everything was packaged, but some states refused. Some states even refused ranches. So this matter requires good consideration. I agree with the bill, but then we need to be very careful in getting towards even the second debate, so that we have a community of opinions, we have consensus on how to go about it. That will be also, yes, I said it, it has to also go out to the West African neighbors. Otherwise, you will say you don't want them to come in. They will also say they will not want you to go into their own environment.
Nuisance lele.
Yes, they were debating the rights of cows, and in that context, they are putting cows and pastorists. They said pastorists, that means they are talking about Fulani others. They are Nigerians. But if they are Nigerians, that means they have where they come from. I am from a state called Ogun. The Fulani states in Nigeria is about 11. where they have Fulani governors, about 9 Fulani governors. Which means where you have Fulanis in the core northern part of Nigeria, I'm talking about the region with the largest landmass in the contraption called Nigeria. Sambisa forest cut across 3 countries. It was massive. If the Nigeria government, if the northern criminals allowed the law to actually catch up with the terrorists that they are, sorry, I've got something in my mouth. Right, so the terrorists that they are funding and backing and defending and even making laws to protect in northern Nigeria, if they could let the law take its course and go straight after them and go into that Sambisa forest alone, right? It should be able to form a new, it's going to be beyond just forming a new ranching spot for them. It can actually be a new country. Sambisa for the Fulani herdsmen. Everybody who wants to buy cows can go to their ranches and buy cows and milk. Why do you want the people who have a smaller states to now provide land for Fulani herders? Why is the Nigeria National Assembly discussing cow in 2024? It's because, whether you want to believe it or not, Nigeria is a cow republic. We can actually call it the Fulani Republic of Nigeria, FRN. So they were putting cows and human being in the same context while they were quoting law. Their law says every Nigerian can live anywhere and do their business anywhere. That is true. But you have to do it legitimately. A Fulani herder has a herd of cows that are in their tens of millions. No joke. If you see a Fulani herdsman with his cow, maybe about 40, 50 cows, 100 cows, each cow can cost over 500,000 naira. Now multiply that by 100, 200 cows. The problem is not about cows, but these guys are so, man, they are so low that they spend hours discussing the right of cows, because if a pastorist, if a Fulani herdsman want to go and do his business is business of cow, Abi. He wants to go and do his business in Ekiti. He has the right to go there and do his business in Ekiti. If he needs a ranch to settle his cows, he has the right. I don't think there is anywhere you will see that they say, oh, there is a general campaign that they must not sell land to cattle, to ranchers. But this guy didn't ask for that because it is not about cows. It is about the land. They don't want to buy it. They want to take it. It should be an act of a conqueror. You know what I mean? Like they conquer you. They don't want to say, okay, how much is the land? Because they have cows that they can actually sell and buy any land anywhere in Nigeria, if the intention is to actually do business. But we have seen so much in the last 8 years for anybody to be telling us about the good intention of trying to open ranch and all of that nonsense that some of them will want to say to us today. We have seen more. This is not about cows. It is about ranching. They've got the land. Enough technology can actually get them water. They can create artificial stream for them. There are rivers in northern Nigeria. Arugungu in Kebbi is a river with, you know that. You've seen Arugungu Festival before. Well, that's water. Go and dredge it. Kebbi State. I mean, I know that one. There is water in Kaduna. There is water next somewhere around the Kogi. There is water in northern Nigeria. The purpose is not because their cows can't see water or grass. This whole thing is not about cows. it is about the effort to make sure that the breakup of Nigeria will remain impossible if they succeed. And maybe in another 100 years, there will be no Yorubas, there will be no Igbos, there will be no this. That's their intention. It's always been the same. They've not succeeded in few parts, but with the help of the ruiners and the terrorists in government in Nigeria, they've made a very, very good advancement. I'm glad that people are becoming more aware and aware today. Even if a Fulani comes with all of the billions of dollars in this world, they will not be able to buy a piece of land anywhere for their ranching in anywhere in Yoruba land to start with. They will not. Because the intention is not to come and invest in Yoruba land. The intention is not to go and invest in Igbo land. Like the Igbos will go to the northern Nigeria, come to Yoruba land and invest, build houses, build businesses. The Fulanis are not interested in that. Where they are, the Yorubas will go to the eastern Nigeria, go to the northern Nigeria, build homes, build businesses, build lives, start family. They don't do that. No. The intention is not to start any business or help your economy. No. Stay there, dominate, stay long enough, claim the place. If anybody tries to send you away, fight them, kill them, and force them to start a negotiation with you. It is going to be called peace meeting. This is the agenda. The Igbos will gather all the money from all the union here and there. They will carry it, give somebody and say, go and use it and make money and come back. They will carry the money, go one village for Zungeru, that he didn't know anybody, and he will start his shop there, his business there. Gradually, he will want to build a mall because he succeeded, right? A Fulani doesn't do that. It's not interested. He wants to take it. And the criminals in government in Nigeria are making us believe that there's nothing wrong in that. We should be magnanimous and give them now. And that's why they said, if a Fulani moves anywhere, law says he can move anywhere. He's a Nigerian. And we all know that Fulanis are always with cows. That's what these guys were debating in there. You know, they always move with cows. So their cows too have the right to move anywhere. So if we are going to ban open grazing, we should not ban the grazing to all the states where the Fulanis come from. These are the states that are bigger. Some of those states are like ×2 the size of some of the southern states where they are killing people to look for land. So the intention is not just about, it's not about the Fulanis having ranches. It is about the land. Listen to this. It's also from the scene of that madness. Listen.
It will compound our problem. You cannot in any way make a law for a particular section to protect some part of the country. Mr. President, I repeat it, I align myself with your position, and I am advising the leadership of this Senate. I am advising the leadership of this Senate based on what you propose to us, based on your ideas, based on your experience. You are part of the and parcel of this leadership of this country for over almost 3 decades. Let the leadership come up with something very comprehensive which protect the interests of each and every person in Nigeria. But going by this bill, it will compound our crisis in Nigeria. Some people close their eyes on what is going on or what lead herders to go against farmers. There is so many issues which we need to attend. Mr. President, we used to see where herders and their cattle are pursuing, killing them, destroying their property from some part of the country, which is against the Constitution. We cannot resolve this issue if we are sentimental. We need to be serious. We need to know that we are doing representation. And most of this issue is to do with the Constitution. And if we are altering the Constitution or amending the Constitution, we need the consent of each and every person in Nigeria. I commend your foresight, and I align myself with some of the submission of Senator Steve, too, from North Central. But actually, Mr. President, the lead debate or the this bill, in line with what he proposed to us, it is contrary against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we are not going to support it. We will fight it to the end, Mr. President. Thank you.